I go through lots of episodes where I don't feel motivated to do things. I feel guilty a lot. Um, Overall sadness, lack of energy, lack of sex drive. Um, and medications do help, but they don't seem to help forever. It seems to be like a few months to a few years that they'll work.
Okay. All right. So, decided to give this a try.
Yeah, I've been following it on the news and Google, and it looks promising, and I'm really struggling right now. I haven't mowed the yard in forever. I'm just waiting for a ticket. I just don't want to go outside. I don't want to leave the house.
I'll say it. I've struggled most of my life. Since I had a traumatic brain injury when I was almost 3 years old. I fell out of a second-story window, and ever since then, it's been a few decades of struggling. And when I first came into the Charleston Ketamine Center, I was not able to I didn't have any confidence, I didn't have any joy in life, and I was having a really hard time functioning, being lost in despair, depression. And after coming here with the wonderful staff, they're amazing, and the treatment, if it's right for you, it really works miracles. It's helped both in my traumatic brain injury. I feel like I've actually gained more ability to use my brain and to use it in my own benefit, which is good. And I also feel that it's just helped in my overall ability to cope with the stresses of everyday life. And so I recommend it highly, highly to anybody who is at the end of their road and looking for something different to try out.
When I first came to the Charleston Ketamine Center, I was in a very, very deep and dark depression. And I'd kind of exercised a lot of other options of medication and treatment for my depression, and I was really struggling just to kind of function on a daily basis. And after I came here and got treatment, first of all of the staff and Dr. Bowen was such a comforting and supportive presence in my life, and that immediately really brought me a great deal of comfort. And after my very first treatment, I noticed such an enormous difference in my ability to kind of cope and regulate my emotions, and just kind of having a new passion for life. And since I've continued to get treatments, it has truly helped me in ways that I can't even express. Of course, life throws very difficult things at you, but ever since starting my ketamine treatments here, I am so much better equipped to handle and cope with those things. And it's just been such an enormous blessing in my life. Is that okay?
Well, I've been coming here for over a year now. The research that I've done on ketamine and what it has actually done for me is, you can't even put it into words actually, but what I would definitely recommend for anybody that is thinking about treat themselves with depression, anxiety, do the research on it and definitely give it a try, because it is done 100% turnaround in my life. It has been absolutely I'd say the drug from the angels, that the other drugs weren't really helping. So ketamine has done so much for me. the treatments, they work so well. I would definitely recommend do your research and definitely give it a shot. It will definitely help.
Hello, I hope this finds you well. My name's Alan. I'm just going to give you a little spill here about myself and my experience here at the Charleston Ketamine Center with Dr. Bowen and his staff. I think I got diagnosed with, I guess, depression and bipolar and the whole rigmarole probably the better part of 35 years ago. And throughout this cycle of my life, every SRI, medication, ECT, to no avail, self-medication. I found this through my sister about a year ago, introduced me to Dr. Bowen and Laird and Ashley, and it's been nothing short of transformative in my life. It's been the saving grace, if I have that, with the good Lord's blessing. But I want to say anyone who has trepidations with this, that's understandable. But if you're considering this and you haven't done this, of course, these are only my words, and it's not a guarantee for everyone, but I do find that it's a very remarkable, short of a miracle, I'll stop there, but I hope this has helped you. It's something that words really can't describe, but if my disposition at this moment gives you any kind of inclination to how I feel about ketamine, then I think you've understood where I'm coming from. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Michelle. This is my husband, Billy. I'm a patient of Dr. Bowen's, and this has just been one of the best experiences of my life, actually. I've been through several different treatments and have suffered from anxiety and depression for most of my life, as far back as I can remember, and have tried just about everything, and really just with very little success at all. And from the first moment I met Dr. Bowen, I knew that he was somebody that would help me if he could, and he definitely could. And he's got a great sense of humor, and he's very just loyal and wonderful. The staff here is just so comforting and so great, and it's just a wonderful place to come whether you feel well or not. And just the care that I've received here over the past almost year has been unbelievable, and I couldn't be more thankful. And yeah, my husband is equally thankful because he has to live with me, and things have definitely progressed very well. But yeah, we absolutely love Dr. Bowen, and he's just an absolute just savior. He really is, and just a very, very wonderful person as well.
Hi, my name is Kerry Scott, and I actually live in South Georgia and travel up here to the Charleston Ketamine Center to see Dr. Bowen. I've known Dr. Bowen personally for a number of decades. We actually go back to fraternity days, and I have found the ketamine infusion therapy helpful for me personally for some episodic depression and anxiety. But really the most impactful thing that's happened to me in my life is one of my close family members who is treatment resistant and really was a concern, and we were completely at our wits' end. And then he came here to Charleston and was treated by Dr. Bowen and has been for several years. And I hesitate to use words like miracle, but truly, to me, in my view, it was a miracle, this treatment. And Dr. Bowen's, just his manner and the way they do it here, and just the personal attention and the level of expertise, I don't think without the ketamine therapy here at the Charleston Ketamine Center, we probably were looking at an adverse outcome I don't want to even imagine. So I would encourage anybody who is struggling with depression or anxiety and those medications, whatever they might be, are not working, this is totally worth a shot. If you have to fly here from California, which, by the way, people do, to come here, it is worth every penny and every minute you have to try it.
Yeah, so I think depression is something I've always dealt with one way or another, and have tried multiple ways to manage in the past, just from not the most ideal childhood and not the most ideal adolescence, not the most ideal life in many regards. And then just especially like 2020 and a very global pandemic and a very tumultuous time in the world, it just got very hard to sort of feel like the recent past, the recent future, and the present are that hopeful. And so ketamine therapy or ketamine infusions were something that I had heard about living in New York and in Berlin, and I had met other people who had positive experiences.
I decided to do ketamine and try it, just because the last few months have been pretty unbearable. I didn't notice it until, my mom brought it up and said, "You're just not yourself, like, you're irritable all the time, you're depressed, you're not doing things that you used to do, you don't enjoy things that you used to like." I was anxious all the time, having panic attacks twice a day, and it just got to a point where I didn't recognize myself anymore.
Okay.
My name is Steve. We're here at the Mount Pleasant Ketamine Clinic for my wife. She suffers from major depression with suicidal tendencies. She was in a bad spot before we got to come in here. We're from North Alabama and we drive here to South Carolina for her to take the ketamine treatments, and they are amazing. They have done wonders for her. Her expression now is she don't want to drive the bus, but she does want to be back on the bus instead of in front of it laying in the road. It has made a big difference in her. She sees colors better, and we're well pleased with it. We would highly recommend it to others if they suffer from major depression.
Hi, I'm Travis. It's kind of awkward for me, I guess, a little bit, but I've been struggling with really, really bad panic attacks and depression since 8th grade, I'd say. And I've been on Prozac, Lexapro, gabapentin. I tried all sorts of things, and nothing was ever working. And we didn't really know where else to turn, and we heard about ketamine clinics, and so we decided to give it a try. And so I came into the facility and had my first infusion, and it's weird, it's an interesting experience. But then afterwards, I just started feeling a little bit better. But I guess the thing about it is it can take a few infusions, or maybe even more than just a few, to really hit that one that can sort of change everything. And so for me, I've been coming to Dr. Bowen's clinic for a few months now, and say about a month ago I had one infusion. I don't know why, but I woke up the next day and I have felt better than I have felt in 7 or 8 years. And all of my energy and motivation is back. And I started seeing a personal trainer. I started taking music theory. I've been waking up at 9 instead of sleeping in. I slowed my drinking. I just all around feel like myself, more or less, and I haven't felt like myself in ages. And to not be dealing with crippling panic attacks and nihilism and thinking everything's meaningless, I feel like I've gotten to the point where I found purpose, or at least I feel like I can find purpose. And I don't think that would be possible if I hadn't come here. And I think that's the best praise I could give any place. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. Do you want me to also talk about sort of the facility itself?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. The facility's great. You know, they usually supply you with blankets, a pillow. You know, you've got recliner chairs. They play nice music, and but obviously during this COVID, bring your own. You know, we practice, you know, safety precautions and whatnot. But the best thing I would say is the staff here are incredibly caring, and you can tell they take this very seriously. And you know, I've had a few times where I've needed to stop early or something, and they'll always be right next to you and helping you out. And you know, it's just every time I walk in here, it's like kind of an escape from all the pressures of the outside world, because I feel really well cared for, and I really have never had a bad experience. So, you know, if you're someone who is at the edge of their rope, I would say, you know, give it a chance and see where it takes you, because it has helped me a lot, seriously.
Hey, so I'm Lydia. I've been coming to Charleston Ketamine Center for about 6 or 7 months, I would say. And it's really been, you know, life-changing for me. I started out in high school with symptoms of, you know, major depressive disorder and anxiety in the form of OCD. And I have been treated, you know, for over 10 years with different psychiatrists and therapists, trying every medicine you can think of, you know, that's out there. And really just still struggling and not finding, you know, a good answer. So when I went online and I had read, like, is there anything else out there besides, you know, what's going on in medicine right now, I found out about ketamine, and I saw, you know, Dr. Bowen's office in Charleston, and I was like, you know what, I'm kind of, you know, I'm like really kind of at the end of my wits. I'm desperate at this point. You know, I said, I'm just going to go for it. You know, I can't go downhill, right? It's only, you know, an option to either be like, you know, uphill from here. So I ended up going to the Charleston Ketamine Center. I've been, you know, coming here for a while, and it's really feels like a cloud kind of being like lifted off of your shoulders, and it really, the ketamine lets you like look at your life maybe from like a bird's eye view, and also allows you to kind of evaluate your situation and decisions that you have to make without that cloud of depression on you. So it's more an objective view of, okay, you know, this is what I should do next kind of thing. So overall, it's really been beneficial to me, and I would say the staff here is awesome. Everybody's super friendly. They're right there with you if you have any questions. They'll, you know, love to answer them for you, and overall, it's just been a really great experience.
Hi, my name is Charles, and I've been coming to the Charleston Ketamine Center for a couple of months. I've tried other things for depression and anxiety before, and nothing has been nearly as successful as this place. And I enjoy coming here because the staff is so nice, and Dr. Bowen is just really nice and awesome. I don't know what else to say, honestly. It's turned my life around. I was really sad all the time, and now I'm hopeful for the future.
Hi, my name is Nelson, and I just want to talk to you about the Charleston Ketamine Clinic. Started doing ketamine when nothing else really worked out. I tried a lot of the different drugs, and even gone to an outpatient or actually inpatient place for several weeks, and tried all that out, and things helped, but it really just didn't get me where I needed to be. And so when it started to trying all the alternative treatments, I started with ketamine with Dr. Bowen here, and it just really changed my life. And yeah, it's changed my life. It brought me back to just, wanting to live every day and just doing well. And yeah, I really can't say anything other than that. And so yeah, it made me really look forward to living again and all that. And so continue my life out West Coast, where I like to live and like to surf, and try to do treatments out there. But places, they just didn't really work out. They just didn't do it like Dr. Bowen does. I particularly use a higher dosage. It works for me, and he'll do it for you, and he'll just do what it needs to get done. And it's awesome. It's the best treatment. I fly back here for it every few months, and it's just life-changing. He's just doing incredible work here.
Hello, my name is David Pollard. I'm 72 years old. I've been suffering with cluster headaches since I was 50 years old. I first met Dr. Bowen 3 years ago, and he gave me a ketamine infusion treatment, and it's the only thing that has removed my headaches, and they have been gone for 3 years. This is unheard of in cluster headache medication. These infusions gave me my life back. I don't have to fear going out of the house without oxygen or an injection. I didn't need any of those things. And here, 3 years later, they started again, and I called Dr. Bowen up, and he got me in right away, and I just finished my second infusion, ketamine infusion, and I'm ready to drive back to St. Simon's Island, Georgia, and enjoy, hopefully, another 3 years of headache-free life. Thank you, Dr. Bowen.
Hi, my name is Donna. I'm here today to talk to you about my experience with ketamine treatments. I am a licensed clinical psychologist with a history of severe enduring anorexia nervosa. I have been in recovery for over 20 years, and I was faced with a relapse for the first time during the COVID-19 pandemic. So I became severely depressed, severely anxious, and was looking for a solution and an answer to help, as this was something that I thought I had under control. I listened to an article or a podcast on NPR, and at the time that I was struggling, and listened and heard about the effects of ketamine on depression and anxiety. And there I've sought out where ketamine treatment could be done here in Charleston. I was grateful that I was referred to Dr. Bowen and his team, and it is pretty incredible the difference that 3 months has made. I am back smiling and feeling positive and confident about life, and eager for those who have struggled for a long time to have access to this treatment, and will be referring my patients to Dr. Bowen at the Ketamine Center of Charleston.
Hi, my name is Mary, and I want to talk for a minute about how fantastic my experience at the Charleston Ketamine Center has been. I started using the services here more than 18 months ago. I'm both a chronic pain patient for severe migraines, and because those things tend to run together, I also have suffered from severe depression and anxiety a lot of my life. In the first treatment, I have to admit that I was nervous and didn't know what to expect. But by the time I got to my second or third infusion, it felt like the sun had turned on for me. For one thing, somebody finally cared about my chronic pain, and I really had relief, true relief from what is sometimes a daily painful disorder. For the other, I had hope again. I saw the world a different way because I knew that that pain didn't have to be my everyday. One of the most important things is the staff here. I've never felt so welcomed and loved and cared for by a medical staff as I feel here at the Charleston Ketamine Center. I know that it can be nervous to try something new. It can be anxiety provoking, especially if you're already not feeling your best. I really encourage everybody who's having a hard time, whether with pain or with depression, to strongly consider this option and realize that it's an investment in your life. You won't be treated negatively for it here, and it's just worth it. They're nice enough that all of those worries go away very quickly.